Well, hello, Christian Metal community. My name is Jimmy Sarles with the Christian Metal Group, and I'm here with J Soul Metal, Jazz Soul Metal,
Yeah, there we
and
go.
today we're on with Pastor Bob from Sanctuary International. How are you doing?
Great, thank you. Good to be here with you guys. It's good to see you.
Yeah,
I I just saw you in person just a few months ago, but
yeah,
we had a good time at Immortal Fest,
yes, we
and you
did.
started asking me to do this interview then. I'm glad we finally got around to it. Yes.
Hey, sometimes you just got to wait for the stars to align, right?
That's
when you,
right.
when you
I
got
think that's true.
Uh, I mean, Jay's doing music full time. I'm running a couple businesses
Right.
and got a lot going on,
Yeah.
and I mean, you're involved in I don't know how many different ministries under Sanctuary. So getting our schedules together can be challenging. So,
Yes.
but we're here, so we're glad to have you back a second time.
Thank you.
So, we interviewed you were our first interview for the Christian Metal Group 2 years ago. So give everybody in the Christian metal community an update of what Pastor Bob's been up to in the last couple of years.
Well, wow. How much time do we have?
We
Well,
can make it
things
work.
are going well with the ministry.
That's awesome.
Um, Sanctuary here in Nashville continues to grow, and we're almost to the point of outgrowing the facility that we're in.
Hmm.
But
Nice.
so I'm excited about just the people that are there. I'm really excited about music. We're working on a couple albums right now, and they're worship albums.
Cool.
Um, a couple years ago, we started a new label called Intense Worship Records,
Yeah,
and
Nice.
we have some worship bands all over the world that work with Sanctuary. And the first one actually is our Danish band called At the Mountain. And that album will be released probably this week, I think, on
Nice.
Intense Worship Records.
Well,
And
I'll tell
then,
you, we are looking forward to that album. We
yeah,
Jay and I got to interview them, and we've heard a couple of their songs, so I'm really excited
yeah.
about the full length.
Well, there's a lot of great people. Ole from Extol is on it. It looks like
Nice.
probably Luke, from Tourniquet will
Luke
probably be
Luke
doing
Easter.
some vocals. We got a few and a
Yeah.
few other surprises. So,
yeah.
but
Nice.
here we've got two albums that we're working on. We have two worship teams. One we call the worship team. One we call the worship band. And the worship team, as you know, is led by Jim Laverty and has been for 40 years now. Um,
That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, Michael Sweet was our first worship leader, and Jim took over then when Striper got a little busy, you know. So Jim took over, and this is the third album that he's done for Sanctuary,
Nice.
and then Jamie McKavanaugh and the worship band, which is Joey and Crystal Mancaruso and all of those people. That's a whole lot more metal, a lot more raw. Really good. Um, and then Jim's band is kind of made up of a lot of people. Glenn Mancaruso from Vengeance, Roger Dale Martin from Vengeance, Chris from Fear Not. I'm
Hmm.
trying to go through them, everybody in my head. Crystal is in it. Steve Casto from Red Sea.
Hmm.
Of course, Jim Laverty. Gosh, there's just a whole lot of people. Steve from the singer for Iron Wrath. Um, anyway, it's a big worship team, and I'm excited that we kind of have the best of the best
Hmm.
Yeah.
when it comes to worship. I'm always blown away by them, and so two different albums, both we're working on right now, and I'm excited to put those out. You guys, a couple of years ago, the Lord really impressed on our hearts to begin to lead with worship, that should be the center of what we do. And so we really started doing that, started preparing for it. God continued to give some great songs and great people, obviously, to be involved. So we really feel like this is the year of revival.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sanctuary celebrated 40 years last year. We were 40
That's
years old.
amazing.
Praise God.
Yeah.
I know I don't look like it, but
Right.
No.
40 years. And but 40 is a really cool number biblically.
Right.
Either 40 days or 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
but we don't always look at what happens at year 41. And that's the exciting part. After
Hmm.
wandering around in the desert, 41 they go into the promised land.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jesus, was in the wilderness for 40 days, 41 he comes out. And
Mm-hmm.
so 41 for us is the year of revival. I'm not saying we've been going around in the wilderness for 40 years. It's been a
Right.
good 40 years, but it's different this year. It's revival this year. It's kind of taking back things that Satan has stolen from us, and it's a year of music, of worship, of
Well,
revival.
I think
And I'm
40
excited
years is
for
a
41. Yeah.
40 years is a really cool testimony to what
Well,
God's done in the community. And
it's
I
been
know
awesome.
we also celebrated Striper and Bloodgood, right? 40 years,
Yes.
which is pretty incredible.
Well,
Um,
it really is. A couple of months ago, I was with Striper in Germany,
mhm.
and Michael and Robert and I sat on the stage and just shared about the last 40 years. What were they like?
Yeah.
What things happened? What are we thankful for? All of that, and it just felt like full circle. You know.
Yeah. So did you get, I guess I'm assuming you got to hang out with Perry Richardson some?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Perry Richardson.
Perry Richardson, the bass player. Did you get to hang out with him some?
Well, he was there, but we didn't. It was just the three of us that sat on the
Yeah,
stage. Yeah,
I've seen Striper maybe 3 or 4 times with him, and he is
yeah,
he's phenomenal.
he
He's
is.
just
He's
such
awesome.
a
Oh
he's a
yeah.
great
Absolutely.
player, and he's so
Yep.
down to earth, and I think
Yes.
he's a really good fit. That's what I was gonna
Facts.
Well,
say.
I'll tell you, my favorite bass player, and Striper's had a few,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
my favorite one has been Tracy Ferry.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and he's, playing with Boston again now. And by the way, he's starting a brand new Sanctuary podcast as well.
Oh,
Yeah. There we
that's
go.
So,
cool. Well, we
hopefully
won't
he'll
tell the
have,
current bass player.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna tell you. I'm thinking about 40 years. Another entity that celebrated 40 years last year is Heaven's Metal.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's right. Because we
so much
released a
happened.
special edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, so much has happened at the same time.
that's
But
right.
85 had to have been a year. It was definitely
A
an era
banging
for
year
sure.
for
Good Lord.
sure.
Man, I was so young.
Um,
I had no idea. But
yeah, yeah. We won't talk about that. So, so Jay, did you see the worship band at Immortal Fest? I can't remember if you were there when they played, or I feel like
I
you.
think, yeah, I did. Yes, I did actually.
They let me tell you hear worship bands all the time, but one thing about this group of collective artists is just their musicianship is top quality. Like
Absolutely.
it's not just some guy off the street who's they're playing acoustic guitar. Like they really
Right,
know
playing three chords the whole
their
song.
instruments, and we interviewed Worldview and what Crystal that's in the band.
Mhm.
I saw her on stage with like 5 different bands, but she is incredible, and her husband's a really good drummer too.
Yes.
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 But she just brings so much energy. Anyways, just the whole band, everybody that's involved, it's just good quality. It's not just, let's just do it for the Lord and hope it turns out okay.
Right.
That's what
Yes.
yeah.
No.
So,
Not only is it good musicianship, but the thing that I'm most excited about with all of those guys is there's a chemistry with them.
mm,
There's a camaraderie. There's a connection with all of them. They're all family. and
Sure.
it comes through in the music.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so let's this is something that when I woke up this morning, I woke up with a question.
All right.
Nice.
Good.
So I want to talk a little bit about the evolution of music as far as Christian music or whatever. And I mean, the very first thing I just imagined, like, what were your thoughts like the first time you heard like death metal, and just like how much music had evolved from, say, Striper, and especially coming into the Christian community? Obviously, I know about how much of a role Vengeance Rising did play, and we just talked about people that are still involved in the ministry from Vengeance Rising. But yeah, what were your
Yeah.
thoughts like as music started
And,
evolving?
and that's a great question. And also, when you're thinking and answering this, did your mindset have to change towards such styles of music through ministry? That's a great question, Jay.
Well, and we kind of have to go back a few years, but I'm happy to answer that. So, I started with Elvis Presley. I'm old. Elvis
Yeah.
um, the thing. His music was probably more on the edge than anybody at that point.
Sure.
And so I always liked the most extreme, and in those days it was Elvis, and progressed from there. Became a huge Beatles fan, Rolling Stones, then Black Sabbath, and et cetera, et cetera. I I started in Christian music, kind of right before the Jesus Revolution,
Okay.
um, when it was Ralph Carmichael and Norman Greenbaum, and some of those
Mm-hmm.
guys at the very beginning. And then I went through the Jesus Revolution. I was there. I knew a lot of the bands personally. We're just getting ready to release a video, by the way, when Larry Norman and I sat down on stage and talked about the old days,
Wow. That's
many, many
incredible.
years ago.
The
And
old days. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And now those days are the old days, but
Right.
we've
Right.
we've never released that video, and we're just about to. Um, but anyway, it's when I went through the Jesus People Revolution, and the Jesus People movement, I watched people join it and then drop out again. And there was a real, how should I say, a real emphasis on the rapture. People didn't talk about anything else. Every Bible study you went to was talking about that. And people didn't get really grounded in it. And that's something that
Mm.
the movie didn't show. But a whole lot of the people that dropped in dropped out again, you
Mhm.
know.
Interesting.
And so making that observation, I told the Lord that if I ever got involved in a movement again, that my foundation would be discipleship, getting
Mm.
people into the Word, getting them grounded.
Mhm.
And so when I met Striper, when this whole thing was just starting, and when they all came to visit me and saying, would you get involved in this movement?
Mm.
Of course, it didn't take me long to jump into it, and we had our first service 1985. So music was Striper. There were 17 bands at our first, we called them Metal
Wow.
Missionaries meetings.
I
And
didn't realize there were
Metal
that
Mission,
many.
yeah, Metal
Yeah.
Missionaries were everybody from Barren Cross to Holy Soldier to
Is
a whole
that's
bunch
where
of bands that
Bloodgood?
aren't around anymore. But
I guess that's where Bloodgood got their name, right? Their
yeah,
title.
but
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
were 17 bands when we first
Wow.
started that started with us, and it was um, it was really a great time. And as music started to evolve, I made a promise to the Lord that I would stay on the edge wherever the edge was,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which has definitely challenged me many times. And probably the biggest challenge was Vengeance. You remember you
Mm.
mentioned Vengeance. Um, I put the band together with the guys. This was a group project. We did it intentionally. We
Yeah.
we got some videos of Venom and Slayer and some of the bands that were just popular at that time.
Yeah.
We studied them, and our whole goal was to be on the edge, actually as extreme as we can before the world even gets there, to
Oh,
lead the
nice.
way. And I
So
feel
you
like
had
we
that
did
thought
it a lot.
process early on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like we did.
that's good. Okay.
But I remember one night coming back from the recording, and we were using a studio. Petra was using it during the day. We were using it at night, so it was
Nice.
late nights and early mornings. And I actually did some of the background gang vocals, the
Hmm.
screams, whatever
Cool.
you call them, with some other guys. And it was quite a project. And I was, I remember driving home in the wee hours of the morning and just thinking, what in the world am I doing? you know, this even sounds satanic to me, and I knew that God was all over
Man.
this, and I knew what He was telling us to do.
Hmm.
Wow.
But yeah, there have been those times of just saying, what am I doing? And then saying,
Mm.
this is the way forward. This is the next step. And
Sure.
so, and we've taken that next step so many times,
Mm.
starting with melodic metal, and then obviously ending up with death metal and black metal. And well, there's 17 different genres of metal right now.
Hmm.
I
So
bet there's more than
yeah,
that.
so it's hard to, but all of that. And then some, we also pioneered Christian reggae,
Right,
Christopher.
with Rastafari.
Really?
Christopher is from Sanctuary. Actually, Mark,
Mhm.
I did
the
not
singer,
realize that.
is a Sanctuary pastor.
Yeah,
Mark
I
is.
Yeah,
remember
Mark.
Reggae Worship. I remember that album.
Yeah,
That was
yes,
definitely my first exposure to them, and I was like,
I
yeah.
okay, you
And
know,
I
I
played
had
I played the keyboards on that album.
nice.
that's so
But
cool.
but they're from Sanctuary, and Mark is still a Sanctuary pastor. So it hasn't just been metal, although it's been obviously 99% metal.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
But to pioneer a movement, you have to stay in touch with what the movement's doing,
Mm.
and it sometimes it isn't exactly. Uh, for instance, we had we had special music every Sunday usually,
Hmm.
and sometimes. Well, we had Vengeance was special music one week. I had to make a new rule at the church that there would be no stage diving from the pulpit.
Mm.
Um, you know so but we always had all the bands playing, for Sunday special music, like any church would. And one week, we had a band that was just starting out, and really great guys, and I thought this will be great to give them an opportunity. And they were a little more on the kind of the reggae side, I guess,
Hmm.
reggae rock. And I remember afterwards Jim Laverty cornered me and he said, "We really need to be more selective,
Wow.
with the
Mm.
bands that we're having play, because, well, their first concert wasn't great, but it was a little
Yeah.
departure, and the band was called POD,
Of course.
Oh
so you
boy.
never know where people are going to go to and what they're going to do, and of course their first concert, but I believe it was their first concert, but
Hmm.
That's incredible. Yeah.
we've had a lot of first concerts.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, where do you start? Best place to start is in your church.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, people who love
That's
you and will
good.
forgive you.
Mm. Right, right. Drugs. I know all about
Yeah.
this. The drugs. I definitely know all about that.
Yes,
Ha- have you heard the new Sonny Dread album that
I
just
haven't.
released? It's Sonny from POD. It's his solo reggae album, and it is really good.
Awesome.
I can't
Oh, I'm
wait to
gonna
hear.
I
I've
get
been
into
meaning
that.
to hear that too.
dude,
I'm happy
it
to.
is. It's
That's great.
it's kind of got some hip hop influence and stuff, but it's a true reggae album, and
Hmm.
I was like, man, it's quality, it's good.
Yes.
So, well, that's awesome. I didn't know the Christafari connection and the POD connection to Sanctuary.
Hmm.
So that's awesome. That's really cool, man.
And are you familiar
Um,
with the band called Trampolines?
I am
No,
not.
I'm not. How
Yeah.
about that? A band that we neither of us know about.
I
That
know,
sounds
right?
impossible.
You continue to expand our minds here.
Right, exactly, exactly. Oh man, here I have
Well, what?
another question. Oh, go ahead,
Well,
unless
hold
you
on.
have one.
Well, what is that band? Tell us about it.
The trampoline is here at Sanctuary too. So
Cool.
just I'm just
Okay.
saying we have, and I've got some country artists even that are here. So
Okay.
we have
Okay.
mostly metal, but we let a few other
Yeah.
people sneak in. Yeah.
Okay.
Man. Okay, so in the 41 years of Sanctuary and just your ministry, I know we just talked about all the bands that have come through and a lot of them started with Sanctuary and stuff. Is there a band that you loved but never saw live that you wanted to, like a Christian band?
Wow. I'm trying to think of a band that I never saw live. I don't know if there is one.
See, I could answer that real easy, but not.
Right, that's a good thing for sure, obviously, for sure.
Yeah, well, with metal, I just don't know if there is one.
Hmm.
Honestly, um, I guess an all-time band that I never saw live and always wanted to was the Beatles,
Oh
and I'm
yeah.
still a
Yeah,
Beatles
for
fan.
sure.
I'm still a
Yeah.
huge Beatles fan. Yes.
Oh man, have you seen any of them individually, like any of the individual concerts?
No music. No, I met Ringo Starr one time at a club,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
spent a little bit of time with him, but I never heard him. I never saw him perform.
That's
So he was
interesting.
there to listen to one of the bands that I was there with. So, but yeah, that's the only band I can think of, and I've gone to a couple of concerts in my lifetime.
A
Right.
couple.
Right, a couple. What's
Just a few.
funny, what's
Yeah.
funny is I've actually seen Paul and Ringo perform, but it was
Have
at the
you?
No
Grammys. I've
way.
seen them at the Grammys twice.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
So that was a really cool. I think that's one thing about the Grammys is that there's so many people that you just normally won't get to see perform that
Yes.
come out and do little one-offs. You know, I had never seen ACDC, and of course they opened up one of the shows that I attended. I still
Ah,
got some horns somewhere, some light up horns
yes.
of that particular thing. But no, that I guess that can almost lead into another question. About the influence of Christian bands into larger culture. I know that, like the Grammys, for example, they metal used to be like on the telecast, and now it's on the pre-telecast. I remember one year, I was there, and I think Ozzy won that year, and I was so torn at whether I wanted to go to the pre-telecast. I mean, go to the regular telecast and or see what was going to happen in the heavy metal kind of category because I believe they were like the
Mm,
last award before the telecast.
really?
And I was like, no. I went on and stayed, and like I said, Ozzy won that year. So but man, um, like I said, because of the shift of music and going towards pop or whatever, whatever. There's a lot of genres out there, even on the regular telecast, but metal seems to have taken a back seat um, in some of these award shows, and even just in mainstream. Has there been a move at all to, um, I guess, to try to remain effective? And I know Christian metal, is a subgenre within a subgenre.
Yes.
It's a lot of subgenres within a lot of
It
sub,
is. That's
you know.
true.
But yeah, has there been a move towards that? I know that you were saying that this year is like more of a year of revival, obviously, which is the most important because we need people that are grounded and rooted in the Word of God before you try to go out and you know
Yes.
evangelize. But yes, is there has there been an intentional move to, I guess, found ways to remain in the mainstream?
Well, I think there has been a lot of discussion about it and a lot of attempts with it.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said, we're still a genre within a genre
Mm-hmm.
within a genre.
Mm.
That's a lot of genres, and it's and
Yeah.
it's and it's a and it's really removed from mainstream. We are
Mm-hmm.
probably more removed from mainstream than we've ever been,
Yeah.
Mm.
and which doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to know your crowd, and you have to know how to reach them and how to approach them.
Yeah.
Um, for instance, when I wrote my first book a few years ago, I really wanted it to be well, not my first book, but a particular book that I wanted to release with the Sanctuary crowd. I was asked by a very large Christian uh, book company if I would write this book.
Mm-hmm.
And after I wrote it, I decided not to have them release it, that I would do
Wow.
self-publishing because I knew they couldn't reach my crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I knew
Interesting.
that
Yeah.
I would be in every Christian bookstore around, and I know my crowd isn't in the Christian
Right.
bookstores.
Right.
So, but I have access to all of the people that I knew needed to get a hold of the book,
Mm-hmm.
and so I self-published, and I know I did a lot better self-publishing to get it into the hands of people I wanted to see it than they would have done. It would have
That's
been
yeah.
sitting on shelves in the Christian bookstore because people aren't familiar with me there. So,
What is the name of that book?
well, it's this one. Seriously,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
have that. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
well, this is the the devotional one. This is
Yep.
the original one,
Got it.
and it's
Yeah.
been released in a lot of ways. Here's one in German. Uh,
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
yeah. So, but
You look like a
anyway,
German there.
yes, good. So I think the same thing is true with music. I think we have to know our crowd, know how people purchase music, how do they listen to it, where are they at, and not be so quick to just sign with record companies and with people that don't know what to do with the music. And I think that as long as we realize that we're a a sub genre,
Mm-hmm.
um, then we go forward with that. One thing that you realize about the metal community, and I know you guys know this, and with the Christian metal forum, and with being at the festivals and concerts, whatever, is that it's a very close family.
Mm,
It's
absolutely.
people who automatically feel camaraderie with each other. And honestly, I've traveled the world so many times, so many festivals, so many heavy metal people in so many countries, and they're all the same. Different
Yeah.
languages, they're all the same people. And there's a connection that even though we don't share a language, we share not only music, but a style of dress, a style of thinking, whatever. And I think that that's the thing that carries this community. It's not the big record companies promoting. It's not getting a good record deal, or even having the best manager around. It's really the camaraderie with the people and the people carrying the music.
The
Mm-hmm.
word of mouth will take you so much further too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that reminded
So
me, Ula from Extol. Um, one thing that I've seen him do a lot, you were just talking about the way people dress. Like a lot of times, of course, he has this whole jazz,
Yeah,
R&B type of thing going, but
right.
oftentimes he'll wear like,
Really
especially
good.
crucified shirts,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
or Azusa, or like some other, I've seen him wear King's X shirts, and just
yeah.
all kind of stuff. And I think that's
You
kind
know, and Nextdoor is a good example. They're all so talented
of, mm,
mm,
and able to do. You know, when we first started, the very first festival we did in Europe, the first Christian metal festival was called Bob Fest,
hmm
and it was in Sweden in 1999. And we, in the early years of Bob Fest, I had Extol do all the worship music.
hmm
They were the
wow,
ones on stage doing worship because they were so good at worship.
yeah.
sure,
And then you'd see them on stage, and they were one of the heaviest bands at the time.
hmm
So,
absolutely,
and that's the thing that I love is that kind of versatility,
Yeah.
yeah.
just seeing what people can do. Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah. So my takeaway from this is it's the Bob 419. Know thy audience, right?
I
Yes.
love
Yeah.
it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. So I was just thinking back as you were talking about ministry for 40 years when you initially got started. Did you already have a quote unquote a church formed, or did the community come together and form out of that?
Um, I've been a pastor for over 50 years. So,
Okay.
I was a pastor before, but I've always pastored something on the edge.
Yeah.
Always
Okay.
been into rock and roll. Always had, Bible studies that were very much on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really went from harder rock to metal, which
hmm
wasn't a
Okay.
huge jump. It wasn't a huge jump.
Sure.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is your physical you had a church already in place when the bands came to it just before when Sanctuary
Actually,
kind of formed.
when we started Sanctuary, I was an interim pastor, and I was pastoring one of the pastors of a very large church in Whittier, California, and
Okay.
and we started Sanctuary as an afternoon meeting at that church.
I see.
Continued to
And
do,
it
and
birthed
then
out of that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and then we
Yeah.
moved most of it uh, to Redondo Beach, to the beach area.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that we had a group that stayed there in that area. Then we had another one that started in San Francisco. Another one that started
Wow.
in oh gosh, we had quite a few in Fontana.
So
Yeah.
you were an early adapter of multi-campus church, huh? In a sense,
Yes.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
think we had 23 groups or churches at one point
That's
before
incredible.
we
Yeah.
decided to go autonomous. Yeah. So,
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
here's. Oh, go ahead. If you have, you got
no.
another question?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Um, this is, well, it's not personal per se. It's more so just like what's happened to me lately. And I know that as a church and as a as a ministry or whatever, you'll oftentimes find people coming to you with, I guess different issues or whatever. And I think about like this last month was, for whatever reason, so hard for so many people. I literally got calls from maybe seven people. I had multiple conversations with like maybe seven people that had been going through like abuse and stuff like that, and just
Mm-hmm.
dealt with a situation over the weekend with somebody that was ready to commit suicide.
hmm
Man, that's tough.
And it's just like, wow, like why is so much going on at once, but I know that, I've seen throughout, especially throughout HM magazine, like some emphasis on reaching out to people that are going through this. But I like to just kind of get into this a little bit because I know so many people, it's a great time for some people, but for some people it's obviously not such a great time. So what is your
Sure.
approach to I guess reaching out to people that are hurting and such?
Yeah, that's such a great question. Thank you. And it really is at the heart of where my heart is,
Hmm.
because I feel like the church does not do an adequate job of reaching
Mm.
people who are honestly hurting.
Hmm.
Um, we have three main ministries that we will actually be intensely focusing on this year
Hmm.
that we
Okay.
already have going. One that you're probably familiar with is Brian Kemper. You
Hmm.
know, doing
Yes.
the
I
whole abortion thing,
Hmm.
and
yeah.
Brian is about to release a book through Sanctuary Publishing, and actually he's speaking at our next gathering. Brian started with Sanctuary, and we're bringing him back. So he'll be back under the Sanctuary covering, and we're going to bring Rock to Life back to life. Just really important because it's an issue that people don't talk about so much anymore that we
Hmm.
really need to, and a whole lot of people hurting in that area. Another
Mm.
area is homelessness,
Right.
and it's a huge problem all over the world, actually.
Yeah.
We've been doing our homeless ministry now for 20 years, and
That's incredible.
yeah, it's been 20 years, and we have in just a few minutes here, the food trucks will start to come in,
Yeah.
and we don't just feed personally, but we have people in a lot of other ministries that we supply food for. So we have a big walk-in freezer, walk-in cooler, and a
Hmm.
warehouse where people come and pick up food and take it to the different ministries. And the third
Hmm.
one is trafficking. And
Hmm.
Yes.
I have many people here in Sanctuary who are working with us in trafficking. Several who work full time in this area. We've got some guys that travel around the world and work with police departments
That's good.
and kind of doing a flash mob thing where they get the attention of people that are trafficking so the police can go in and rescue.
Hmm.
Wow.
That's what their ministry is. And they're amazing, great, really great guys
That's
that do that.
incredible.
Yeah, it
Is
has
there a
been.
s-
We
is
have
there a
quite a few.
specific ministry that you partner with for that, or that is part of Sanctuary, or is it just a group, a lot of people?
Well, it's the guys, actually, they used to, gosh, some of it we really can't talk about, but they used to
No, I
actually
understand
be
that.
a very popular band, and they'll
Hmm.
go as the guys of that band and maybe even do a concert, and
Hmm.
then this is what they do on the side.
That's very
Um,
That's
interesting.
cool.
we have a few women, who have come out of trafficking who are
Hmm.
working now with other women. We
Hmm.
have
Yeah.
some that work with children, some that work in the dark web. Um, yeah, just a little bit of everybody. A couple that run homes uh, for hiding women and helping them, you know, first of all, get away from their abusers
Right.
and then help them get
That's
ready.
really good.
Many times it's taking them to another location, another city, another part of the
Yeah.
United States, but getting them away.
So
So,
that's people all over the world that are connected to Sanctuary doing different types of ministry.
well, in some parts of the world, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
we'd love to expand that as much as we can. We're very involved here, especially in this area. And one of my best friends is the police chief. You've probably seen the podcast that we do together called The Odd Couple. And we just had Chief James Hambrick speak at our last gathering. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, we're very involved in that area. That's a huge thing, and we also have Celebrate Recovery. But
Yes.
when it comes to counseling and people going through difficult times, I'm most excited to announce that we've just opened our counseling center.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's all legal. It's all accredited. we have three counselors that we've started with. My associate pastor, Todd Bowe, who
Todd is
has
amazing. Yeah,
actually been with me for 44 years now,
Mm.
that's incredible.
and he heads it up. He has a degree in family counseling. Ray Paris from Barron Cross
Yeah.
has his degree in counseling as well. He's with us.
Nice.
And then we have a, a woman, a professor here at MTSU that's doing counseling and in our worship band. So, so we've started that. People can get some counseling either in person or over the internet, and
Hmm.
we'll
That's
be
really good.
announcing more about that as we go. But just to answer your question, it's a very important thing
Hmm.
that we interact with each other. And then let
Hmm.
me mention one more thing. When we started Sanctuary in 1985, it was like a big youth group.
Mm.
Everybody was pretty young, very young. My elders were like 21, 22, 23 years old.
Nice.
And the elders at that time were like, you know, Glenn Mancaruso and Jim Laverty
Yeah.
and Roger
Yeah.
Dale Martin and, you know, these guys
Yeah.
that they were just kids then. I mean, just kids. Tracy Ferry. Um,
Yeah.
so uh, these days at Sanctuary, we have all of those people plus the younger ones.
Mm.
And, you know, we do Socratic discussion, which simply means that people have an opportunity to speak and to share their viewpoints on things as well.
Mm.
So when we do Sundays, you know, I do a little speaking, but everybody speaks, and we learn
Yeah.
that. Uh, Yesterday in church, I barely got a word in. Everybody had something to say. It's so good, so rich, so much experience. But most of my original staff is still with me after 40 years,
That's
and
awesome.
there's such a tremendous maturity and foundation there for people going through difficulties. And
Sure.
I notice how they're nurturing and how they're mentoring the younger people as they come in just automatically. And to answer your question, I think that's one of the keys. You know, is to make sure that we are relevant and that we're hands on. The older women
Mm.
are teaching the younger women, the older men are teaching the younger men, and that we have that kind of camaraderie and mentoring going on.
That's really good. You know, Mark Nix from Cool Hand Luke. I
Yes,
don't know if you've talked to him. Yeah. So him and his wife are both certified counselors as well in Florida. Yeah. So
awesome.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
So that's so awesome that you know Brian Kemper is back in the scene. I mean, I know he never
Right.
officially went away, but he kind of took a hiatus. You know, he's got 10 kids he's got to take care of and things. But the 2 years ago, I saw him for the first time in probably 20 years at Immortal Fest, and so I actually started the South Carolina Rock for Life chapter um, you know, 20 something years ago. It's crazy to think about, but that was so much fun. And that's really what got me involved in the scene. I mean, I was listening to music at that time. You know, POD and Project 86 were Living Sacrifice, kind of like three of my favorite at the time. And,
yeah,
but that's what really got me in the scene.
Nice.
So it was so good to see him again. And then I was
yes,
honored to do an interview for him with the first Heaven's Metal special edition release last year, 40th anniversary, the first one in 15 years, which was incredible. That was a real highlight for me.
yes,
But I'm actually in the process right now of reading the newest Heaven's Metal that was just released. I have three or four, a couple interviews and reviews in that, so it's a lot of fun. But just I've been going back and starting with the oldest HM magazines I have, and I'm literally reading through them. And I'll post
Nice.
some stuff, you know, like
Right.
ads from Rad Rockers and stuff. You saw that one, Jay.
yes,
I
yes.
Uh,
did.
so I'm also in that process. I'm reading things that you wrote 20 to 40 years ago. You know, whatever long ago it was. I think the first one I just finished reading was 1998. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so cool how that holds up to today. And now you're still in ministry and you're still saying those same things because the word of God is doesn't change, right?
Right.
Right. It
Um,
doesn't. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's
I don't know. I was just thinking about all those connections and everything, and it's really cool for me personally.
yeah. It's
And
same.
it is for me too. How cool is it that HM is publishing again? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I love that. I just think that's awesome.
Well, I mean, I haven't known Doug a very long time, but I mean, I've interacted with him on social media, and we have interviewed him and everything. But you could just tell in our messages and stuff, he's just it's like a kid in a candy store. He just loves it, you know,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of work, but he gets to put it together, and he's like, "Oh man, I got to make this work and figure out how this was going to fit," and so that's just really cool just to be a part of that and everything.
Yes. No,
Yeah, I
it
think
is, and it really looks good. I mean,
it really
it
does.
Yes,
really
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
so professional, so nice.
it's
And I'm
quality for
happy to
sure.
be writing again. You know,
Yeah.
it's I one of the special things that I've written for quite a few different magazines, but that's always been the one that I've enjoyed the most, just because it's really zeroes in on our crowd. But
Mm.
it's been the one where people say, I read your Pastor Bob page and it changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
I love hearing those kinds of things because you guys, at the end of the day, that's what we're doing here.
Yes.
That's what this podcast
Absolutely.
is about. That's what the music's about. It's about changing lives and it's about touching people.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
man. I
good.
definitely remember. Also, like it, those have definitely been some trips down memory lane, Jimmy, as you've kind of gone through some of those. I need to pull out all of my old magazines and start doing the same thing. I
Uh,
mean, God.
it's fun, man. It's just like and it's so odd to me also that I have discovered new bands that I didn't read that magazine exactly when it was released or I'd forgotten
Right.
about or never heard of. I mean, there's write ups and advertisements for some bands that I've just never heard of. And
Yeah,
one of them was like a blues rock album, and I don't even know if it was ever released because I couldn't find anything about it. But to
Mm,
me, I just love that. That's right up my alley.
yeah, that's what I know. We were talking about Rescue Records a couple weeks ago. When you
Oh
posted
yeah,
that, I was like, wow, I didn't realize. I know that, of course, the major acts were like, Tone, Unity Clan, POD,
POD,
but I didn't realize like people like Dirt were on there and Dogwood and,
dude.
just that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But
Dogwood.
yeah, Dogwood, exactly. So dude, like, um, I remember it had to been whenever I discovered HM, it had to been like the early '90s for sure. Because I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
my first um, Christian metal CDs that I bought. They had to been like '93, and yeah, and from there, like I would just kind of pick up Heaven's Metal and HM, and like whatever was in there that seemed interesting, I'd like get it.
That was our internet. That's how we learned
Yeah.
about
Oh,
what was
it
exactly.
coming
was.
out.
Yes. That was the
Exactly.
Or
only way,
or in
generally.
my case,
Yeah.
the my youth group had a VHS tape from HM. That's
Yeah.
how I learned about some bands, Gospel
Yes.
Gangsters and Living Sacrifice.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I used to love it
Yeah,
when they would cover like different genres.
for sure.
Obviously Christafari, but like I said, I do like that at reggae worship. Like I definitely got heavy into Christafari, and it was so great to see them live at Cornerstone when I saw them
Good.
there.
Yeah.
I never
Right.
got to see. They played my friend and he was actually he started the band Sent by Ravens because they're from South Carolina, which hopefully they're coming out with new music. They posted on social media, so
Come
we
on,
we
let's
don't
go.
know. It's like when you've been dormant for years and you make a post, it's like, what's going on here? So did Mute Math. Mute Math posted
Yes, they
something
sure did with
recently.
Earthsuit. They Earthsuit
Yeah,
has an
but
Instagram page, which is cool.
my friend Andy and Sent by Ravens book he put a little festival together down in south of South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and he had booked Crastafara, but I didn't get to make it to that. Man, I've always wanted to see them. But Bob, do you know about the story? I feel like I've read or heard an interview with Mark where he got stabbed. Do you know about that
I
in
don't.
Jamaica?
Gee.
Yeah, I mean, it was from what I remember. I don't remember any details, but it was something to do with him being a Christian in
Hmm.
Jamaica. And I don't know if he was
Jamaica.
living there or just visiting at the time, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I might. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, you really do go into hostile territory, and they
Sure.
really do. Christafari really does that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they've released some really good worship albums too, just straight
Yeah.
worship.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
totally do.
Like
You
you
know, you
can't tell
guys,
that.
there's always been a little bit of a danger with this, honestly. And
Hmm.
Mm,
I don't think we've noticed it so much in the United States, but
Yeah.
in
sure.
countries like Norway and Finland and some countries where people involved in the metal community don't think that Christians should be involved with it.
Right. Right.
It's a
That's
big
good.
deal. I don't know if you saw of what was the name of the movie that we did with Extol, of Light
Oh
and
yeah, light and
Shade.
shade or whatever.
Yeah, and you know I was one of the hosts of the movie,
Hmm.
and we, well, especially talked about all the persecution and the churches that were being burned. I remember those days
Hmm.
Yeah.
when people were burning down churches, when Extol's lives were threatened, because
Hmm.
you know we've been doing that festival there in Norway, in Oslo, for how many years now? For 25 years, I guess now. But it's you know, in the early days, it was dangerous to do a concert because the metal crowd hated Christians, hated the music, and again, they were burning down churches.
Yeah, that's crazy. We
Yeah.
we interviewed the band Amari Tones, which is
Yes.
the first and only Christian metal band in Japan.
Hmm.
Um,
Cool.
he said, yeah, he said there's been a few bands that kind of come and win a few, but
Hmm.
he's for 25 years he's been the only Christian metal band. And I mean, that just made me think of that. I mean, I don't know that he's had any hostility, but he's like on an island by himself, is what I mean. It's
Hmm.
like you really got to be committed, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you realize that there is a lot of sacrifices that have been made, honestly, you know, to keep this genre going, which is awesome. It's been
Yeah.
great.
That's so good. So, so on this journey where we're a subgenres, three or four down, whatever, with different types of music and ministry connected to everything from pro life to trafficking, all these different things. Where Sanctuary is now, what does it look like to lead with worship going forward?
Well, I'm excited for this year for a revival, and I mean
Mm,
that. If anyone listening or watching is interested in having the worship team coming and the worship band coming and leading in revival in your church or in a tent or whatever, you know, one of the reasons that we moved here, one was to get out of California. We moved in 1994 and relocated our headquarters here in Tennessee. So that's a few years ago, 32 years ago now.
Wow.
wow.
32 years ago this week. So
Hmm.
one of the reasons that we came here was to set up our headquarters and then also to do rock and roll tent revivals.
Yeah.
Mm, okay.
And we were very excited about that. In fact, I was just talking to Roger Dale from Vengeance yesterday about that in church, that we were reminiscing about those days, being so excited about it.
Hmm.
And and then we had a lot of things put together and ready to go and just didn't get off the ground.
Wow.
Roger said, you know, I can't believe it took 32 years to do it, but it did. And so here we are 32 years later and finally
Wow.
really doing the rock and roll tent revivals. So we have a sound system. We're ready to go. We have really great lighting system. All the, all the lasers, the whole thing. And Casting Crowns gave us a tent. So we've
That's
got a tent.
incredible.
So we're ready to
That's
go with that. But we're ready to do revival anywhere.
hmm
We've
I
got
guess
some great
God's,
speakers. We've got some
eh,
great people involved. So
yeah,
if anybody's watching that says, I've really been praying for revival in my city and especially with the metal crowd, as you know, if you've seen the Sanctuary Worship Band, it's very metal.
yes.
Um,
Well,
so
I guess God's timing is not our timing, right?
I know that's right. Ain't that the truth?
yes, but they're available, and that's kind of what the year looks like. We're really taking a year off from our classes, from a whole lot of things
Wow.
to do revival this year.
Well,
And you're
I
42
am ready.
back.
I'm ready for that. I'm ready to put a date on the calendar in Greenville, South Carolina.
Yes, come on.
Yeah, let's
Yes,
do it.
let's do it. Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah,
we've got some people now. Crystal and Joey Mancaruso will be traveling with Barron Cross also this year. They'll be doing
Cool. Okay.
some concerts in Europe this year as well with Barron Cross. But they're but they're very excited about doing the whole worship thing, as are the rest of the members of the band. And yeah, I'm excited for what can happen and what I believe will happen. So
That's so good.
good days ahead. Yes,
and that's
Nice.
so exciting. Of course, I'm in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky.
come
Um,
on. We're
and
not that
yeah,
far away.
yeah, that's
Not
what I
that
said.
far.
I need to stop
Yeah,
in. I was trying to stop in a couple of weeks ago, actually, and man, schedule has been
yeah.
insane. But I'm definitely looking for it. And if there's ever a Hammond organ or percussion spot,
Our next gathering is February 7th,
okay,
Saturday at 3 p.m. And Brian Kemper again will be speaking, and worship band will be playing, and we'll have we'll have a great time.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
That's so good. All right. Well, you got anything else, Jay?
I think I'm good. I think we've covered a lot, which
You
is
guys, it
amazing.
has been awesome to be here with you. And
Oh,
I just
we
want
loved
to
it.
say that um, I love the forum on
Well, thank you.
Facebook. I'm I'm excited to continue to promote it.
Hmm
Yeah,
I'm excited that I'm one of the ministries involved with it,
Yeah.
and
absolutely.
and I but I love going through it. I love reading people's comments, and how many people do we have? Is it close to 60,000 now?
Not quite. We're over 53,000 right now.
Yeah, we're
52.
almost I think we're like just a few away. We should be
Amazing.
close to 54 now. I need to look at that
That's
and see
Yeah,
what
it's
amazing.
getting close to 54. Yeah.
That is
So
incredible.
so
true.
we have yeah, we have ministry partners like you, James Franchise, that we
Hmm
just love to promote, and then we have moderators literally from all over the world. There's
Right.
19 of us right now. Uh, Canada, Norway. I'm trying to remember them all. England, Australia, of course, a handful in the U.S., South Africa,
Yeah.
Yep.
Malaysia, and some of those are musicians. Not all of them, but there's a couple of them that are really good musicians.
hmm
So it takes a team to
It
really run
does.
it and
It
keep the
does.
focus on specifically on Christian rock and metal. That's
Yes.
our goal. Like
hmm
Jay says, hey, we just woke up today and deleted a lot of messages.
Yeah.
Of course, he's halfway joking, but
Yeah, sometimes it happens, but
Well,
I
you
definitely
guys,
appreciate that.
you're a blessing to a lot of people, and I appreciate what you're doing. It's been exciting to watch the numbers grow and grow and grow, and the
yeah.
new people get involved. But
I,
also
well, we
excited
appreciate that.
to see how people are interacting with each other. And it's not just a forum; it's a community, and I love that
Yes.
part.
Yeah,
Love that.
that is a good way to put it. And it's just amazing to me how it's been over 12 years now. My friend Steve Morse, who you got to meet at Immortal Fest, he started the group and passed it off to me, and he's on the team and all now. But what it's grown to, not just in numbers, but in the ministry aspect, from a Facebook group to
Yeah.
we have we have a blog, we have a website, we have this platform. It's just it's incredible. God can do anything.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see what he's about to do.
Amen.
We're not done
Absolutely.
yet, you guys.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, I appreciate it, Pastor, and we hope you have a great day.
Yes. God bless you, brother.
Bless you.